So I love cooking, but obviously never really cook steak. When I go out for dinner, I never really order it. Always there's something else on the menu that I want to try, because I've always just assumed that steak's just like an overrated thing. People think that it's really good, but there's always other stuff to eat in my opinion. But I think it's about time I just decide to learn how to cook steak, learn all the different cuts, and see which one I actually like the best, and which one's probably the best value as well. So let's get stuck into it, boys. Okay, so just went off and bought $110 worth of steaks from a local butcher. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna pull all of these out, show you what we've got, and I'm gonna salt them, chuck them in the fridge. I'm gonna go to work for 3-4 hours, and then I'm gonna come home, and then she'll be ready to cook when we get home. All the daddies, look at them. Smells delicious. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna grab salt, and we're just gonna liberally just go all over the top of these. You wanna go pretty hard on the salt. Like, people are scared of salt, I swear, but especially with steak, like, you need the salt to bring out the flavors. Otherwise, it's just very bland. Give them all a little flip. And then, like, typically you would salt the sides and stuff of these, but I'm leaving them to brine for ages, so this salt's gonna all penetrate them. So I'm not really gonna need to. Like, I can't really be bothered either. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just grab a wire rack, little wire rack, and I'm gonna just transfer them all onto the wire rack. Then I'm gonna just sit these in the fridge until I get home from work. One more quick look at that. Oh. So we've just done the brining. I've just had that in the fridge. I've just pulled it out. It's been brining for like 4 or 5 hours. Literally just salt, as you would have seen. What we've got here is a Wagyu Scotch, a normal Scotch. Pretty sure they're both called ribeyes in America, but for some reason we call them Scotches down here. I think we call it a ribeye if it's got the bone, but without the bone, we just call it a Scotch. Filet. We've got a porterhouse here, a T-bone, and a rump steak. As far as am concerned, at least in the last 5 years, I've only had a normal Scotch fillet. I haven't had a Wagyu one. And I haven't really had much Wagyu at all in my entire life, so this is gonna be interesting. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just preheat the oven. I'm gonna chuck it on 140, and I'm gonna chuck them all in there for about probably 25 minutes. And after 25 minutes, I'm gonna get the old mate meat probe, and hopefully all of their internal temperatures are getting close to about 50 degrees, which is what you want for a medium to medium rare. And then I'm gonna let them rest, sear them in the pan, which is called reverse searing, which I feel like is one of the most foolproof methods for cooking a steak, just from what I've seen on YouTube and stuff like that. All right, this has been preheating for a while. Good luck, lads, good luck in there. Do me proud. Alrighty, we're back, and we're about to just test the old mate probey probe. I'm gonna chuck it into the small ones and see if the internal temp's coming up to around 50 degrees. Probably another 5 minutes on the Wagyu Scotch. Actually, now that I think about it, the Wagyu, because it's got more fat, probably burns faster. Yeah, so what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna take the Wagyu one out in about probably 2 to 3 minutes. Sear that one in the pan. So I'm gonna just put a little bit of peanut oil in the pan, high smoke point oil, so we can get a nice good sear on this bad boy. And then I'm gonna grab some tongs and I'm gonna pull him straight out and sear the bad boy. And I'm gonna let him rest. Oh, I've done this a horrible way. Oh, see that there, chuck them back in. All right, here we go. Put the old meat press on there. Now I'm just gonna do like probably not even a minute aside, like 40 seconds aside, just to get a little sear and then let him rest. So that'll do. Give him a little flip. Oh. Look at the sear on that. That is a nice sear. Okay. I really think this is going to overcook if I leave it much longer, so let's just take her out. Leave that one to rest. And while I've already got the pan ripping hot, let's put a little bit more oil in there, even though it probably doesn't really need it because we just had a Wagyu steak in it. And I'm going to go straight in with the rump, and I'm going to chuck it straight in the pan. That on there. Woo! Looking good, boys, looking good. Once again, you don't really need the weight on there, but it's just to get it more of an even an even browning. Now, because this is the first one out, I'm going to just put a bit of foil on it just so that it doesn't lose all its heat. I don't even know if you're supposed to do that. Who knows, I'm doing it. It's been in there for about 30 seconds, so not much longer. We'll flip this one. Oh, look at the sear on that. That is beautiful. That's exactly what we're looking for. Now, I'm hoping I haven't overcooked any of these. I'm hoping. Guys, please get us in the comments how many of these you think I've overcooked. But don't go to the end of the video and cheat. So give this one another probably 10 seconds, then we'll leave that one on there as well, and then we'll pull a couple more out and put 2 more in. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so let's just actually pull this entire thing out actually. So, chuck all these here. What we'll do is we'll grab this pan, get the porterhouse, and the T-bone, I think. So all up, we had the Wagyu in for about 22 minutes. We had the rump in there for probably 25, 26 minutes, and we had the rest of them in there for about 30 minutes. So that'll do for these ones. These ones can have a little lay down here. Oh, Jesus. And you know what, why not? A little bit more oil. Never hurt anyone, did it, lads? A little bit more oil just to really get it going there. Oh, actually, you know what? I have to burn this fat cap off. I can't have that. I can't be having that. So we just quickly cook that fat cap off as well. And then we'll chuck these bad boys in. Oh, Jesus, this scotchy's falling to pieces. And this is the eye fillet. There we go. Sear that up a bit more. You can't be having that fat cap on there. That's just no one's going to want to eat that. Got to sear that up a bit. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, the scotchy. All right, that'll do us, I reckon. Let's slice into them and see how we've done. I think overall I've done a decent job. I think the last 2 bigger steaks, probably more on the rare side, but they'll still be good. So what we've got here, we've got the eye fillet, we've got the scotch, normal scotch, we've got the porterhouse, we've got the T-bone, we've got the Wagyu scotch, and we've got the rump. Tell me in the comment section which one you guys like most. And I'm just going to just taste a few of each of these. I don't know if I want to blindfold myself. I probably don't need to. Like, I don't need to be swayed like that. Like, I just think I just need to taste which ones and just see which ones I like the most. So I've been really keen to eat this Wagyu one first. So let's get a middle piece so it's more like rare. Okay. The Wagyu scotch is just so buttery. Just melts in your mouth. It is so good. Let's go with the rump next, because I'm not really sure how to feel about the rump. I don't ever hear of the rump being known as a good cut. It's always like, it's a good cut, but it's definitely on the lower end of the premium cuts. I think that's really nice. It's obviously not as tender as this one and not as greasy and like melt in your mouth, but it's, I wouldn't say that's much worse than that one really. Like they taste both really good. Let's go with the eye fillet next. Eye fillet. I think I like, people say that the eye fillet isn't very beefy, but I find that very beefy. Now the porterhouse, this is probably the one that I've been, other than the Wagyu, I was most keen to try, because whenever I go out for dinner and stuff, I always see porterhouse on the menu, but I never buy it for some reason. I like the fat cap on this. It has a way different depth of flavour to everything. A little salty bit of fat on the edge. The T-bone is, well actually what's this here? This little edge part of the T-bone, let's see if this part's any good. It's supposed to be eye fillet, I'm pretty sure, but hopefully, like, because it was coming off the bone, it's got a bit of extra flavour to it. Those pieces that cooked right next to the bone, I don't know if that gives it extra flavour or it's just in my head. The smaller part of the T-bone was really good. Give me some more of that. And now the final big daddy boss, the one that I normally always get when I go out, the standard scotch. I'm going to be honest here. For me, The Wagyu is just not worth it. You're paying like double what you're paying for just the ordinary Scotch. And it, in my opinion, doesn't taste that much better, if any at all. And it's just fattier, which means it's worse. Technically, it's not really worse for you, but you're going to gain more weight if you eat that more regularly than this one. I went into this thinking that the Scotch was going to be my favourite, and I'd say that it still is, but I can definitely enjoy the porterhouse, and I'm very surprised. The rump is probably like the most underrated cut here out of all of them. It's got a little bit of fat on it. It's still like a little bit tender. So I think my final conclusions here are, as long as the person who's cooking your steak knows what they're doing, it doesn't really seem like you can go wrong with any of these steaks. If I was going to be rating these steaks on a scale that includes value and taste, I would say that the rump is probably your winner. The rump is probably number one for value and taste. And then I'd probably go between the porterhouse and the Scotch, because I still do prefer the Scotch over the porterhouse, but the porterhouse is a lot cheaper. So I'd probably, let's just go porterhouse. Porterhouse second, it's a lot cheaper. Scotchy third, T-bone fourth, I fillet fifth, and the Wagyu's just not worth. Like, I can tell you right now, I'm not buying that. Just, if I wasn't doing this video, I would not be buying that. And there you have it, guys. Me learning how to cook steak and finding out which ones are actually good. Actually, let me know how you guys think I did here on the cooking. In the comments, tell me how you reckon I went. But I think I did okay. I think I did all right. If you enjoyed the video, why not give me a sub if you want to watch more of this kind of stuff, and like the video and all that jazz, and tell me how crap I am at cooking steaks. See you, sweethearts.